Greetings, everyone, and thank you for hosting me. In fact, the negotiations have been ongoing over the last week, but still there are some hurdles that impede reaching an agreement, hurdles and impediments regarding major subjects that need to be resolved before an actual ceasefire agreement can be ratified. In fact, right now, the negotiations or the Israeli media in Israel is still speaking about the existence of many hurdles that impede the way to reaching an agreement. And among these hurdles and impediments is the definition of humanitarian cases, quote unquote. And it is not new for Netanyahu to be arbitrary in his ways and to keep on using pretexts in order for him to evade engaging in an actual ceasefire agreement. And among the discords or the pending subjects as well is once more the cases of hostages that are below 50 years of age and that are in the age of conscription for the Israeli army. That's another major issue. Yes.
Sir, let me ask you, please, what do you think, in your opinion, are the main gaps hindering progress in the ceasefire talks in Gaza?
My calibration, the main impediment is the person of Netanyahu. He uses pretexts and he doesn't give the negotiation delegation of Israel enough privileges and negotiation tools. In fact, there was a case of involving 11 Israeli hostages among humanitarian cases, and there are other Israeli hostages that Hamas wants to release, in fact. But we find Netanyahu evading or not providing guarantees to a ceasefire agreement.
Sir, let me also ask you, do the ongoing Israeli military operations in Gaza and the West Bank at the moment affect the ceasefire negotiations, do you think?
Yes, most definitely. Netanyahu wants to escalate further and further. He keeps on practicing massacres in the Gaza Strip, and he does wide-scale incursions into Gaza camps and hospitals. He as well keeps on doing major incursions in civilian areas. In fact, 3 Palestinian citizens were murdered recently, and this is just an attestament to Netanyahu's arbitrariness and his commitment to doing more and more massacres. And we have seen the siege that the hospitals are suffering from, and the current pounding of Al-Andalusi hospitals and Al-Auda hospital. And these hospitals are now out of service because of the continuous bombardment of these hospitals that the Israeli army is doing. And so Netanyahu wants to perpetuate his genocidal practices and to eradicate all living conditions in the Gaza Strip.
How do you think can the international community play a larger role in the advancing of the ceasefire negotiations?
In fact, unfortunately, up until this moment, the international community cannot really provide any protection for the Palestinians and cannot really participate in halting the war. We are talking right now about 45,000 Palestinians that were murdered and over 100,000 that were injured and are suffering from the lack of health care services provided to them because of the ongoing siege and barricade over the Gaza Strip. And so there are, of course, some international organizations trying to launch appeals for the halting of the war and the barricade and the siege over the Gaza Strip, but Netanyahu just doesn't budge about that at all, and he keeps on perpetuating his genocidal practices. And right now, more than 90% of the Palestinians are being exposed to starvation. In fact, every hour a Palestinian child is murdered because of starvation, and the international community is actually handcuffed